Hi, I'm Jesslaine. I am going to be talking about finding the probability of an event, like simple probability. So here are some vocabulary words that we're going to go over first. So an outcome is one possible result of a probability. So the outcome, what's the outcome of rolling a 2 in a dice? So the outcome would be 1 out of 6. So that's one of the possibilities, results of a probability. Sample space, the list of all possible outcomes for the probability of event. So when we flip 2 coins, the sample space would be, we could get a heads tails, a heads heads, a tails tails, or a tails heads. So that would be all the possibilities that we could get. And then random, outcomes that occur at random if each outcome is equally likely to occur. And then simple event, a specific outcome or type of outcome, so a simple event. So like rolling a dice is a simple event. It's only specific, you can only get a 2 1 out of 6 times. So for example, Best Buy is having an iPod giveaway. They put on the iPod shuffles in a bag. Customers may choose an iPod without looking at the color. Inside the bag are 4 orange, so I'll write this down so we can know. So 4 orange, 5 blue, 6 green, and 5 pink iPods. And then if Maria chooses an iPod at random, what is the probability she will choose an orange iPod? So what we do is we look at, well, what is the probability that she will choose, or how many chances does she have to choose an orange iPod? She has 4 chances. So she has 4 chances, and then what's her total chances? What are the total chances to pick any type of iPod? So you would add all of these up. 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5, and you would get 20. And then, so she has a 4 out of 20 chance to get an orange iPod if she just randomly sticks her hand in a bag. But anytime we do with probability, it's like fractions, we are going to reduce it. So 4 out of 20 will reduce to 1 out of 5. Okay, 4 out of 20 reduces to 1 out of 5. So she has a 1 in 5 chance of getting an orange iPod. So what is probability? Probability is the chance that something will happen. So with the iPod, she had 1 out of 5. She had that's a 1 out of 5 chance that she would get an orange iPod. It is a ratio of the number of ways a certain event can occur to the number of possible outcomes. So she had a chance to do 4, so it can occur 4 times, and then out of the total possible outcomes was 20. So she had a 4 out of 20 chance. So probability of an event is the number of favorable outcomes over the number of possible outcomes. And that's every probability, okay? So probability of an event is the number of favorable outcomes over the number of possible outcomes. So for example, what is the probability of rolling a 4? Well, the number of favorable outcomes, the only way we can do it is there's only 1 4 on the dice, right? So that's only 1 chance. And then the total number of possible outcomes is, if you're rolling a die, it has 6 sides, so there's 6 chances. So rolling a 4 on a dice is 1 out of 6. The number of favorable outcomes over the total number of possible outcomes. And another example, what is the probability of rolling an even number on a dice? Well, on a dice, we know it goes 1 through 6, so even numbers on that would be 2, 4, and 6. So that's 3 favorable outcomes out of the total number of possible outcomes is 6. 3 out of 6 will reduce down to 1 out of 2. So 3 out of 6 reduces down to 1 out of 2 for our probability of rolling an even number. And last, what is the probability of flipping a tails? So, well, there's only 1 tails on a coin, so that's only 1 favorable outcome. And then total possible outcomes is you can either roll a tails or a heads. So 2. So 1 out of 2 is flipping a tails, okay? So possible outcome. So let's talk about probability just to let you know. If it has a 0% chance of probability, that means that event is impossible. Ain't gonna happen, okay? Impossible. If it has a chance that's close to 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 4, it's not very likely at all to happen. If you have a chance that's 1 out of 2 or close to 1 out of 2, it's equally likely to happen. So you have a chance that, the same chance that it won't happen, that it will happen. And then 3/4 is somewhat likely. And then if you have the probability of 1, it's certain. So if you have the probability of 1, it's certainly going to happen. So 0, impossible. 1 out of 4, not very likely. 1 out of 2, equally likely. 3 out of 4, somewhat likely. And then 1 is certain. Thank you for watching my video on simple probability.